This offseason, the Houston Texans made the bold decision to move on from their edge rusher, Jonathan Grenard, who they drafted in the 3rd round from the Florida Gators, and go on and get Danielle Hunter from the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I think most people had a positive reaction when they saw the Danielle Hunter news, but I don't know if they knew exactly why they were excited. Besides just the counting stats, which are better, there's a lot more than that meets the eye. In this video, I'm going to try to break down a couple plays that I found while trying to figure out if Danielle Hunter is going to be a solution to some of our defensive problems. Hopefully you enjoy and find this helpful. This is the first clip that caught my attention from Jonathan Grenard. I just didn't know what he was doing on this play. He didn't seem motivated at all to get to the quarterback, and it resulted in a huge gain by Lamar Jackson. When you're not hyper-aggressive and motivated to get after the quarterback against Lamar Jackson, one of the league's best, it's not going to help you, and it's going to hurt you very bad like it did on this play. This is the first one that caught my eye. This is not a guy that's worth whatever the Vikings are paying him. So here is a perfect example of what Danielle Hunter could possibly bring to this team if he keeps the same level that he played with last year. It's almost an identical play, besides the quarterbacks obviously being very different, Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson. But it's a very similar play where the middle is going to open up and the quarterback is going to try to take the space up the middle and get a couple yards out of it. And instead of being lazy and unmotivated to get there, here Danielle Hunter is actually very quick, very fast to the quarterback and lays him down very quickly. This is one that immediately caught my eye because it made me think of the Grenard play where he did the exact opposite of what Danielle Hunter did on this play. And as you see more and more of these, you're going to see maybe why our front office decided to let Grenard go and start looking for other options. This was probably one of the most egregious examples I found, and this is in no means to be a Jonathan Grenard hate video, but when I saw this play, I just couldn't believe my eyes. I know Patrick Ricard is a good blocking fullback, and I know he's capable of getting on the edge and blocking, but he should not be able to handle one of the best edge rushers like this. If he's getting paid like he's getting paid, he should not be able to get handled like this. And again, this is another one of those clips that made me realize what the Texans might be thinking, letting this guy walk. Then if we switch it to the Danielle Hunter clips, what I believe is going to happen is a strip sack almost every time. If you try to do this to Danielle Hunter, I can almost not guarantee, but I would bet a lot of money on it that Danielle Hunter is going to get a strip sack on Lamar Jackson. Because if you look at these two plays right here, one is on a right tackle, one is when they tried to chip a running back to him. You can't chip this guy with a running back or a fullback for that matter. It won't work with this guy. He's too fast, he's too strong. It is a whole different ball game. He's not Jonathan Grenard. This is a play comparison that opened my eyes to the difference he can make for our defense, to be honest. This next play is one of those ones, again, where it really kind of makes me look like I'm just picking on Jonathan Grenard, and I'm really not trying to. I'm just trying to look at this objectively, and you see he just can't keep his balance on this play, and I'm not saying it directly leads to Lamar Jackson getting the touchdown, but if we have a defender such as Danielle Hunter who can make a move right there and actually go after the quarterback instead of falling down and losing his balance. I get it, high pressure situation, all of that. I understand from a human perspective, but this is football, this is business. And I think Danielle Hunter in that situation has the balance, has the stability to stay up and make a good play, good run at the quarterback, which slows down Lamar Jackson, which changes a lot of things on this play, in my opinion. I know it may not seem like it might change much, but in my opinion, just those few seconds of slowing the quarterback down or even maybe getting a strip or a sack or something, to me, changes the game completely. If you see in this clip right here, Danielle Hunter has great balance on that edge. He has great moves that he can make on that edge. And in this situation, if he put one of those moves to use, who knows what's going to happen in this play. So just keep that in mind. I again want to say, I'm not just trying to make a video hating on Jonathan Grenard. I love Jonathan Grenard, and I loved when he was on our team. There's also instances where Derek Barnett, and I'll show them on the screen, got caught lacking, absolutely lacking, looking ridiculous, and he's actually coming back. We signed him midseason from the Eagles, if you guys remember, and he did not look good at all when Will Anderson had to go out. He had many moments where he looked goofy, many moments where he looked out of place, the same way I'm clipping Jonathan Grenard. Honestly, our D-line as a whole didn't perform how I expected them to or how I wanted them to against the Ravens. They got beat up and bullied, and I think that's one of the biggest things our coaching staff is looking at going into this next season. And that's why I'm making this video as the first video I make, because I think it's going to be the biggest improvement that we make next year that a lot of people aren't even thinking about. Our D-line. Our D-line was, in my opinion, not our weakest point, but one of the weaker points most people didn't talk about that we had last season. And we signed a huge name free agent to try to shore that up. And I think it's going to make a big difference, and I think it's going to pay dividend next season. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Did we make a mistake letting Jonathan Grenard go? Or are you super excited to see what Danielle can do with the Texans? Or is it both? Let me know. Peace.